The South African flag printed on them. The hundreds who gathered outside Parliament said the actions taken by the president overnight did not have the interest of the country at heart. The crowd, which has steadily grown in size despite rain in Cape Town, says it is time for ordinary citizens, irrespective of their affiliations, to ensure the leaders put the people's well-being first.
I am here today because I believe that ordinary South Africans need to stand up and be counted. And I think people need to come out, take to the streets, and we need to show not only our displeasure but our anger at what Zuma is doing. I believe it is time for Zuma to go. Today won't be soon enough.
We here as citizens, as responding to the call of our bishop, that we should come and embark on a silent prayer as a sign of our protest and pain, of being pained by the state of our nation. Ours is not about personalities. Ours is that God may intervene in our nation so that the center could hold. All the things that are being said and all things that are happening around us are saying to us, not all is well in our country. And therefore our coming here today is to join forces with other people, that we may pray and that sanity may prevail in our country and that all may go well. And that at the end of the day, all South Africans may benefit in the quest for the better life for all.
Well, let's get the latest details now from our reporter Bulelani Philip, who was at the march. Bulelani, good afternoon to you. Do tell us what transpired at the march today.
Good afternoon to you, Alicia. Basically, this is one of the first, civil, uprisings or civil protests that are going to be happening, as the protesters put it, to come and express their dissatisfaction at the manner in which this cabinet reshuffle has come about, and in particular the manner in which they have removed what they say is a competent minister in cabinet, and therefore they've emphasized that this is just one of the first actions that they will be taking in terms of trying to raise their concerns and bring it to the attention of the authorities.
Bulelani, I know you're in Parliament. Do give us the latest. We understand that EFF leaders just mentioned in the briefing that they've actually called for an urgent convention of Parliament, and that should Balegambe to actually deny them this, they're going to take it to court. Any news around those developments around that side?
Yes, Alicia, I can confirm that both the DA and the EFF have requested the Speaker to convene an urgent sitting to try and, debate a motion of no confidence against President Jacob Zuma. Now, you'll recall that these motions have failed before, but the opposition seem to believe that the latest, incidents of the cabinet reshuffle may be something that has broken the camel's back, and therefore they may actually get the support from some of the affected MPs from the ANC. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Parliament at the moment is in recess and is due to only be back sometime in May. But given the urgent, attention that this matter needs to be taken, the EFF and the DA want Parliament to reconvene early for this motion to be discussed. Now, obviously, the ANC has the numbers that have actually been able to, fend off all of these motions of no confidence. But the opposition seem to think that given that some of the ANC MPs do not agree with the decision taken by the president, they may be persuaded, to vote with the opposition.
Bulelani, just tell us some of the reactions from particularly the ANC MPs in Cape Town. What has been their reaction? I mean, as you've just mentioned, a lot of people are pointing out that a lot of people did not agree to the president's cabinet reshuffle.
Alicia, I think there are 4 examples, which I can cite, which actually, are views of all political parties across the board. Is that one, the Minister of Finance, Mr. Pravin Gordhan, as well as his deputy, Mr. Mcebisi Jonas, are perceived or are viewed as people who have been doing a very good job, are competent in their, work, as well as are actually having their fingers on the pulse in terms of the operations, the the austerity measures that have been implemented by government, and therefore they felt that there was no plausible or genuine argument that has been forwarded or advanced by the president to remove them. But on the other hand, there are two examples that, the political parties are raising of ministers who have been retained by the president in cabinet who ought to have been axed in this cabinet reshuffle. And those are the social development minister, Ms. Batabile Dlamini. You'll recall that, she has actually been under fire for her competence or rather her incompetence in handling or mishandling the issue of the SASA contract. The other person that the party is believed should have been axed is outgoing communications minister Ms. Faith Mutambi, who as well has been fingered by the SABC ad hoc committee, and that committee had recommended that the president actually considers whether she is suitable for that position. So those are the two opposing sides, and the opposition parties believe that given that this cabinet reshuffle doesn't seem to have any logical sense, they feel that there is some other ulterior motive behind it rather than what the president has advanced.
Bulelani, thank you so much for that update. That is our reporter in Parliament, Bulelani Philip, also giving us the reactions from the march and also just in general the reactions from the people in Cape Town and also members of Parliament that have reacted to this morning's announcement of the cabinet reshuffle.